I used to be a drug addicted party boy model in London 10 years ago. Now I'm back here visiting, 7 years sober. Thank you. But I'm gonna go take you on a walking tour, show you some of the sights, in what I'm calling Mark's Messy Haunted Tour of East London. Shocker, it is grey in London. Our first stop on the tour is Dalston Superstore. Now, when I say I was such an addict that I would lick a bathroom floor if it got me high, I am referring specifically to the time I dropped an entire bag of Molly on the bathroom floor of Dalston Superstore. And you know what I did? Also, there was this really hot guy that used to come to Dalston Superstore with his ears painted blue. He was so hot. Jack Appleyard, if you're still out there, I love you, man. That is also located across the street from the Nando's, where I had my first ever Cheeky Nando's. And at that very same time, I also got a text message that I was being kicked out of my apartment because I hadn't paid rent in 3 months. And would you look at that? That is the apartment I got kicked out of. Now, if you're wondering, Mark, how did you get in? There's no front door. I'll show you. You needed to go behind the building, up the stairs, and then you could enter the building. There was a family of migrants that lived right below me in a one-bedroom apartment. There were 7 of them. And one time immigration came knocking on my door, trying to ask me if I knew who was living below. And you know what I told them? Nothing. Now, right in front of this gate is where my drug dealer used to pull up. Now, how did I meet my drug dealer? On Grindr. His username was BuyGuy420. He used to sell me the worst weed ever. There were times I did allow him to touch me up for a bit of a discount. Don't fucking look at me like that. I used to go into this Sports Direct behind me with my ex-boyfriend and buy him underwear so that he could wear them and then sell them on Craigslist, and we would split the profit. Whole Foods Market, I couldn't afford that back in the day, but when I would get my paycheck, sometimes I would go in there and buy like an organic chicken tender and be like, I'm eating good tonight. So behind me is the Green Room Cafe. I worked there for like a year and a half, first as a waiter. I was a terrible waiter, so they fired me. And then I came back as a florist, and they were like, do you have any floral experience? And I was like, no, but I am gay. I see my old boss. You think she's gonna recognize me? This is where I used to work, this like little sink right here. So this is why we used to work together. I came back to visit. I can't believe that we're still here. And now it's been like 10 years. Well, that was very cute. And now I am in Abney Park Cemetery, which I used to walk through every day on my way to work. And I would always pass by these gay men. They would always be like staring at me. And I'd be like, what's going on here? Turns out it's a cruising ground. And last but not least, 49 Northwold Road, the apartment I lived in for like a year. A lot of firsts in that apartment. First time I ever blacked out. First threesome. First time I said I love you to someone. First time hiring a gay handyman who would later stalk me. That was a first. And a last. Well,